Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Flashpoint TV, manifesting the moment of your big breakthrough. Yes, you can. Maybe that's the way we open up the show today, Mandy. What do you think?
Yes, you can. Yes, I am.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Yes,
are.
I am.
Say it
Yeah.
loud, say it proud. So, welcome, everyone. My name's Austin. I'm the founder of Flashpoint, manifesting the moment of your big breakthrough. Next to me, this way,
Somewhere.
is my beautiful co-host, Mandy Robinson. Mandy, how are
Namaste.
you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Austin. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Yes, bells and whistles, right? Look at the sunshine pouring through. It's spring. We're alive, and we're just about to learn about other people and how their lives have been enhanced and saved. And it's just beautiful to be alive. This is going to be a great show.
I'm so glad to be working with you to host this today. And
thank you. Me
today,
too. With you, that is.
Yes. And today, we're going to be highlighting the brand new book. I got the hard copy right here in my hand.
Woohoo!
It's Your Health Turnaround Story, forward by Dr. George Grant, and with some amazing co-authors and their stories. And I opened this up. How would you like to have over a century of experience and research and really blood, sweat, and tears in some cases to get to the bottom of said health circumstance and to create a breakthrough and to create that turnaround story? So we're eager to bring this story to you. But first, Mandy, I would love for you to help us kick off the show.
Absolutely. So let's start with the hourglass. And let's see if we can get it right this time. So the hourglass for us as people, looking at this hourglass, the top represents the future. See the sand in the hourglass at the top there? That represents the future, things to come. As the sand falls through, it falls to the bottom, which means the things in the future have already happened and the bottom is the past. So what can we utilize from that hourglass? It's bang in the middle. If you want to lower it, Austin, there it is. Bang in the middle. That is the present moment in time between the future and the past, because the present moment, in any given moment, like right in this split second, the present moment is all we have. And how are we going to use that? Yeah.
Beautiful.
And thank you. And then we went on to the Edison light bulb. And I actually love the Edison light bulb. Why do I love the Edison light bulb? Because it took Thomas Edison 10,000 ways to create that light bulb. And people could say 10,000 failures. Well, okay, 10,000 failures that led to success. So it becomes 10,000 ways to create success. Right? It's a different perspective. So we always look for that with the what ways can we use to look at how we see life, and if we think we're failing.
Oh, your volume cut out on us, Mandy. So
can you still hear me?
You're back.
Okay, I don't know what happened there, but anyway.
Okay.
So when we look at life and we're having challenges, and we can think to ourselves, I keep failing or I keep falling down. And suddenly we turn that into success. And that's the light bulb moment. And those failures turn into success, and the past is gone, and we're in the present, and we're successful and happy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful metaphor for that. And then the good old cowbell. For everybody on here that doesn't know us, we use the cowbell to highlight aha moments, light bulb moments, to refer back to Edison there. So anything that stands out to you that you think deserves a notification, pop it in the chat room, write it down for us. And then Austin can ring the bell, ring the cowbell. Yes.
Absolutely.
Make it stand out for sure.
We want your shares today, and we're going to get right into it. We're excited. This is the second book in the Flashpoint series. It's called Your Health Turnaround Story. And as what I'm going to do, because I don't want to keep you anticipating, I'm literally going to put a QR code up right now. And then after that, we're going to bring on the authors. We're going to hear from the heartfelt stories, literally and figuratively, in some cases, heartfelt stories of these pages that are guaranteed to have a positive impact, not only on your, even if you're in good health. Like, let's say you look in the mirror, you feel good, you're in good health. these stories will still have a dramatic positive impact on you. And if you're somebody that finds yourself in a tough spot, we're going to get into those conversations today as well. So, Mandy, I'm going to take a moment, and we want to reach our audience because we are over 10,000 views a month right now. We're getting on TV.
It's going up. It's growing.
It's growing. So I want to reach that audience, and I want to give you the opportunity to connect with this book, connect with these authors. So I'm going to put the QR code up. So if you're watching on a TV or a computer, all you have to do is open up your smartphone. The camera usually has a QR code identifier in there. I know the iPhone has it. If you have an Android, it might work as well, where they have the apps you can download. You simply put the camera on there, and it'll open up the website so you can get direct access to the book. And if you're so moved and inclined, you can actually purchase the book in a digital version and in the hard copy version. Yes. So there it is.
I'm a hard copy person because I like to study. But just to add to what you said before, you put the cue card up there. As you said, even if people are healthy and they're feeling good with their health, etc., all the stories in there lead you to come to a conclusion that prevention is possible. Prevention of getting in those bad places with their health and needing a turnaround story. So the wisdom there is precious for both sides of the coin.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Mandy. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we want to invite you to share this because I know based on past experience, people that get this video are going to hear from these authors and they're going to hear something. They may not get everything, but they're going to hear something that is going to have an impact. So sharing is caring.
Is caring. Yeah.
So we're going to invite you to share this. So let's put the QR code up right now. So if you're on the playback, you can freeze it, but we'll share it at the end if you're live as well to give you another opportunity to get the book. So I don't want to wait anymore, Mandy. Will you help me bring on these amazing authors so we can get into today's
Absolutely. Who have we got in the green room first?
So I'm just gonna go right down the line. I'm gonna start with Greg Hall. I'm gonna bring on Dr. Phil. I'm gonna bring on Mr. Jim Grant, and then I'm gonna bring on Professor Dr. George Grant.
Okay, so let's just set the pace here. This is a collective experience of personal, life-altering stories. These are people that have, from every walk of life, everyday life, and they found themselves in these health-threatening life situations, and they've come from perhaps despair or been so rock bottom that they've looked up to God and said, basically, God, help me. If you don't help me, I don't know what type of thing. And there are all kinds of health stories. So it can be from the heart to pain, to all kinds of real health stories that we as human beings go through potentially. Yeah. And what I've gathered from all of these in the collective experience is, first of all, that they give us self-awareness when we're at our low points, that we can actually pause and ask questions that will lead us to answers, and also self-awareness about where we are with our health. Do we have a pain somewhere? You know, we got digestive problems, and what alternatives can we look at? And there are some fantastic, natural, beautiful alternatives in this book. So self-awareness was key for me in assessing it all. Prevention is possible. We've just spoken about that. And this was a quote of many of the authors in here: to live and come from a place of gratitude. Gratitude is a really healthy attitude to have no matter what we're going through, because gratitude for even just being alive brings us the love from above, which extends out and becomes the answers to turning our health around or whatever it is we need to do. And I also thought from all of them that the environment that we find ourselves in, now that can be in a relationship, that can be, are we abusing substances, have we got heart problems, etc., etc. Where are we when we've got those? Are we taking care, for example, to put the right things in our bodies? to nourish and nurture? What about our minds and our hearts? Are we filling them with the good stuff, positive? The environment that we place our mind, body, and spirit in plays the biggest role in the level of our health. I gleaned that from all of them. And just to round it out before we bring the authors in, I think the biggest message here was from Dr. Grant himself. And it's something that stayed with me. I actually have little plaques on the wall, individualized, but then you put them all together. Is his legacy. Leave this legacy. Live, learn, laugh, and let go. Live, laugh, learn, and let go under any circumstance.
Yeah.
Live it, learn about it, how you can turn it around, laugh through it, let go and let God. That is basically the nutshell that I gleaned from all of these amazing people.
All right, let's bring him on. Mr. Gregory Hall joining us out in the field. There he is. He's on there. We got Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is with us. Hey, Dr. Phil.
Hi, Dr. Phil.
Mr. Jim Grant with us. Hey, Mr. Jim Grant. How are you?
Hi, Dr. Grant.
Fine.
Jim.
Fine. How you doing?
Doing great. We got Dr. Grant. I don't see his camera, but we get his voice. And then we have Amy. There we go. We got the authors on. I'm excited to connect with you today. Welcome in our audience. Welcome in our authors. We're going to dive headfirst right in. I'm excited because I want to get this cranked up. So what we're going to do, Mandy, is we're going to ask the first question is first of all, we want to meet our authors. That's actually the first round because some folks are going to be hearing this for the first time. And I always want to make sure that the world knows who these people are. And that's what we're going to do right now. So Mandy, I'm going to turn over to you. I'm going to let you just run through and lead us off here and go through each person.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's start with Dr. Phil. Welcome to the show, Dr. Phil. Really happy you're here.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
It's an awesome time. And to have you all here with this book is just, I've got goosebumps. I'm very excited. Okay, we've got some cross speaking here. Dr. Phil, just give us in about 2 minutes a complete roundout of who you are, what you do, and where you've come from to this point, if you wouldn't mind.
Certainly. Well, I'm from Indiana. Anderson, Indiana is my place of birth. I've been in Indiana most of my life, but traveled quite a bit. I have a history in the music business. I have a daughter who's been in 3 Disney movies, been all over the world. She's been on tour with the Backstreet Boys. Years ago, she has the voice of Mariah Carey. She didn't like Hollywood very well, so she's now lives in Cincinnati, where she still carries on her music, but she's also managing for companies now. But she's part of this story. As I've listed in chapter 5 there, we talk about her recovery from having meconium poisoning and taking a breath while still in the womb and finding out through natural medicine ways to win these battles, which was the only way we were going to win that battle. But to back up just a little bit, I was in Bible school in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when I was in a bad car accident. And this got me to a chiropractor, which then referred me to a naturopath. And then that's where my story actually starts. I began to learn about prevention and natural medicine, began to learn that the body has absolutely no idea how to be sick. It only knows how to get well. That is the foundation for everything that I do. When I teach doctors, if they don't understand that concept, everything they do after that is going to be off center. And the problem with being off center a little bit or out of line with the direction is you could be off 2% when you start. But if you're going to travel 500 miles, 2% off, you're going to be off quite a ways when you go 500
Absolutely.
miles.
Absolutely.
So you have to remember that this body doesn't know how to be sick. And so therefore the symptoms that we have that may be painful are not our enemy, they're our friend. And we have to listen to them and then learn, why is the body screaming at me or telling me that something's wrong? What do I need to find? We got to find the cause. And so
exactly.
That led me on to begin to pursue studies in several fields because I believe we are a spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. And so we have to address all 3 realms. And I began to study from the standpoint of biblical studies, and then I moved into counseling and finished a double master's in that with nutrition and mental health. And then I went on to do a doctorate in naturopathic medicine, and then I've got another
Awesome.
108 hours of nutritional therapies because I wanted to be able to address the whole man, the total man.
Perfect. We're just going to we're going to halt you there because we're just doing a quick snippet here and going to get into it a little bit more. But thank you for that. And actually, that's something else that has always stood out with me. What you said, the body only knows how to heal. That is absolute key. Beautiful.
I was going to say the same exact thing, man. That quote has stuck with me. So
it has. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Phil. Yes, Cowbell. Amy, on to you, my friend.
Hello.
In just a couple of minutes. How are you?
Amy.
I'm doing wonderful. Great to see everyone. Love to see you all. Yeah.
You look awesome. You look like you've been on the beach.
Actually, I was on the beach.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. There you go.
Healing the codependent fixer.
Can you share with Right. So can you share with our audience here today, just in 2 minutes, because we will dive deeper, a little bit about you, your background, how you came to write that chapter, and where you're from, please?
Well, a quick way to say it, well, first of all, I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And a quick way to sum up my life is that I dealt with abandonment, anger, anxiety, alcohol. I had severe allergies my whole entire life, autoimmune disease. But one of the hardest things for me of all times was to deal with approval of all people. I wanted everyone to approve of me. And that was really because of the abandonment and the anger and the rejection. So it led me to being, as my chapter title is, that codependent fixer. I wanted everyone, because I didn't know how to get in touch with how I was feeling. So because I felt out of control inside, I was trying to control everyone and everything around me, which is what led me to being so sick.
Yeah, absolutely. And your journey to come from that, being a codependent fixer to where you are today and being in the book is absolutely amazing. And
what a title.
What a title. Yeah.
The Codependent Fixer, My Health Crisis and Wellness Journey. I mean, the title says so much. Yeah.
And again, a pertinent point there, just in your mini recap, shall we say, always looking for the approval of others. That is a huge factor in today's society because people tend not to love themselves enough to say, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, etc. They're looking, and it's an illusion. It's an illusion. And you bring that out really well in your turnaround. So thank you for sharing that. We will get back to you. Gregory, my friend up the road.
There he is.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Greg Hall here.
Yes. And what's Greg's chapter, Austin? Did you get that out? Greg, while Austin's looking for that, can you give us a short version in 2 minutes of who you are, where you're from, how you came to be in the book, and what your story stands for, please? There's the chapter.
I'm Greg Hall from Toronto, Canada, born and raised. And basically, I was approached by Austin and Dr. Grant to be a part of this book. And I was told it was going to be helping people understand about the body and, help them get better. And that's why I decided to join.
Yes.
I operate Quantum Balance Limited. It's a wellness company. I'm a certified health coach. And I'm passionate about helping people achieve homeostasis, get their body back to even. Writing this book has been very inspirational. Just learning about my own story, because actually putting it on paper, I recalled a lot of things that I didn't remember.
Yeah, we're going to get more into that detail. But I'm so glad you said that, because it is. I mean, and I know going through this process, it's amazing what comes out of us that we forgot about. Even as an author, you're right. You're like, wow, and sometimes we're like, it's surreal. It's almost like you're having an out of body experience. Like, wait, was that me?
Yes. Yeah, that's why for me personally, going back through all my journals, there's so many wow moments. I can't even believe I've written half I've written, and I'm sure every author here can say the same thing as Gregory just said. Thanks for that, Gregory. We'll get back to diving deeper in just a little while. Moving on to Dr. Jim Grant.
Well, he might as well be a doctor.
Yeah.
It just seems to have stuck.
A giant in my own mind, right?
Yeah. Here we are laughing again. What is it, Dr. Grant? Live, laugh, learn. Jim,
Yeah.
please tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you came to be in this incredible book with all these wonderful human beings. Please.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure
You're
to be
welcome.
here.
Good to see you, Jim.
Good. My pleasure to see you. Good to see all you good people there. My buddy, Dr. Grant, he's smiling at me already. My name is Jim Grant. I live in Brenham, Texas. And the way I got into this book, I put my heart into it.
Ooh.
I had a heart attack on Halloween night and had to have open heart surgery on November the 1st with 4 bypasses. But my story, the reason why that I wanted to share with others is that a lot of people are in the same boat that I was in. Decade after decade after decade, my blood pressure was good, my cholesterol levels was good, and I thought that was a safety net. My heart's got to be good, right?
No.
But when I had that heart attack on Halloween night, I found out the hard way that my safety net had a hole in it.
Yeah.
And then to put salt on the wound, I found out that 75% of the people who wind up in the ER with heart problems, they're just like me, no previous signs. I mean, cholesterol level was 96 when I was in the hospital, the bad cholesterol. Before that, it was about 76. Blood pressure 120 something, over 60 to 70 something, but there was no telltale signs. So that is why I wrote the book, and that is why I just decided to take my story to others, because I know how I felt laying in the hospital the whole weekend waiting on surgery. That is not a fun way to spend a weekend.
No, it isn't.
And I'm very healthy. I'm very happy. And like Dr. Grant says, live, love, and laugh, and all those wonderful things. Most importantly, let go of everything that gnaws on you.
Yes.
It's
Cowbell
worthless.
moment. Let go
It's
of
worthless.
all that gnaws
Yeah.
at you.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. I tell people the 8-inch scar I have in my chest is a reminder of how blessed I was, because I had the widowmaker in my heart and I did not know it. 99% blockage on that one side. And so therefore, I look at this as being a blessing in disguise. I tell people the good Lord in his wisdom allowed me to fall down and skin my knee rather than let me break my neck.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, beautiful perspective. I've got goosebumps, and you're just reminding me of all the scars on my body, which tell me about the blessings. I had to have 2 C-sections, emergency C-sections, and my children are the blessing, and those scars are the reminder. So there's always a way of turning the perspective into the blessings that are before us. So thank you for that, Jim. We will dive deeper in just a moment, because we've got some questions for everybody. And now, Dr. George Grant, my friend.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you so much.
Love you. Love you, brother.
Love you too, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you, Austin. Yes, I've written the foreword for this book, How to Live Healthy, to 111. How can I write something like this when I lost my mother in her early 40s? My father is in the early 50s. I have never seen my grandparents. Really, I have very bad genes from 6-7 generations deep. But thank God for a science called epigenetics. Thanks, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who said epigenetics is how you turn your bad genes off and your good genes on. So I did turn mostly 90% of my bad genes off. And basically, I turn my good genes on. That's why I'm in my 70s. I know I look 55. Thanks very much. I really feel 55. I feel good. So the way I got to write this book, Austin called me and said, you got nothing else to do. You got lots of time on your hands. Why don't you just write this forward and tell us about your story? I said, yeah, okay, sure. So he
said the same to me. I nearly
I know, Mandy. It's always. But you know what? those lovely co-authors, some of them are my students and some of them are my dear colleagues. Every time I hear their story, especially Jim's story, it just, I get, like, you can see my hair here, goosebumps in my hair.
Same here.
Because I was telling, actually, Jim, the first sign of heart attack is sudden death. And I did actually manage to scan him in October before Halloween, and I told them, watch for your left ventricle. He said, no. My cholesterol is good. My blood pressure is good. Don't worry about left ventricle. I said, Jim, watch your diet. It's all there. It's on the report. Because you are what you eat, you are what you don't eat, and you are what's eating you for stress. And Jim is, he's not stubborn, but he's determined. Okay, let's put it this way. He's determined to live his lifestyle the same. And then he learned hard way in Halloween. What a Halloween experience. Like, the ghost will become the heart surgeon. And then open heart surgery is not fun. I've been through my experience on that. I tell you, prevention is better than intervention. Self-care is better than crisis care. We all understand that. And I would strongly recommend for the viewers and listeners to get this book and read every chapter. I mean, we have Dr. Phil. Who else does not know? I'm talking about Dr. Phil from Indy, not the other Dr. Phil who does not know anything about nutrition, but I'm talking about my students and colleague here, Dr. Phil, and also about Greg and about Jim, and of course, Amy. So read every chapter. Read the foreword. In fact, if you just read the foreword and look at my story, if that does not inspire you, I don't know what else will inspire you.
Dr. Grant, how long have you been working on what you entered into the book here? What's your background?
42 years.
42 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna be 42 years. I'm gonna be 72 in 2 weeks. 72. I don't.
Oh, early happy birthday!
Happy
everyone.
birthday!
Thank you. I love you all. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this. I did work in the allopathic field and the naturopathic field, and I tell you, studying natural medicine is the greatest thing I have done in my life. That is the best thing I learned, and I'm teaching my students about IM, FM, LM, integrative medicine, functional medicine, lifestyle medicine. I help all my clients, to do this. And by the way, Gregory Hall has this device here, and so is Dr. Phil. And like if you live in Indianapolis, they got the device here, so you don't have to come to Toronto to see me here. Just do it, and it's done virtually. So I hope they would pay attention, not to ignore what I tell them, like Jim did. And but you know what, Jim, now if I tell him to jump from CN Tower, he will do it, because
he will jump.
Everything I'm telling him, he would. I would never.
Only with the parachute, my man.
They don't offer parachutes.
I know. Yeah, I know what it's like to fall.
Dr. Grant does these sniper scans too, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
He scans you when you don't know it, so he can see what's going on with your health.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing as well. When you meet a complete stranger that has this device, that just by speaking to you and hearing your voice, it can scan the whole body and give me back the information that only I know about myself. I was just absolutely floored and blown away.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you.
It brought tears to my eyes because the pinpoint accuracy. So you haven't had to go for an MRI. You haven't had to go for a CAT scan. You've had no invasive surgery tests or anything. Just show us, Dr. Grant, just with that scanner, he can tell you every single thing that's going on in your body, from the cells to the bones to the it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Actually, Mandy, it shows you your chromosomes, and it shows you your DNA markers, like if everything that you inherit from your parents, and it shows the mitochondria, which is the subcellular organism to give you energy. So if you don't have as much energy as I have at 72, you gotta really pay attention to this seriously, because I want to be. Hopefully, if God give me till 111, and I still look beautiful like Amy here, and handsome like Dr. Phil and Greg and Jim and Austin, and of course like Mandy. You know what? It's all good. I want to live as long as I can to help as many people as I can. I don't want to have anybody who is 18 years young who is orphaned. That is really that's what drives me. I do not want to see somebody losing their mom and their dad in their young teens. This is what's in my side of my heart. I don't want to be rich. I drive Toyota. I do not have Rolex. You know what? My health is my wealth.
Yes.
Yeah, and I would say your wealth is in the health of every single person you've
Yes.
impacted. That's where your true wealth.
And look at the title of our book, The Health Turn Around. Look at the first 4 letter. HEAL is to heal. Our body has a capacity to heal. It's right there.
Yes.
Health,
Yep.
heal. And if we learn how to heal from Dr. Phil, from Greg, from Mandy, from Austin, Amy, and Jim, I think Jim could be actually the best teacher for all of us here. He's been through open heart surgery, like he was near death. And I love his quote. He said, you know what? If I died, I go to heaven. And if I make it, I'm in heaven in Texas. He has good attitude of gratitude. Yeah. He's got that good. It's just like if he's not stubborn, I would love Jim to. He's not my older brother.
Yeah. No, and I just want to jump in real quick because we got to transition. But Dr. Grant will know the quote. I think it was Nikola Tesla, right? Yes. What did he say, Dr. Grant, about frequency?
Everything in life is energy. Everything in life is frequency. We're all vibrating frequency. We're all vibrating energy. And you can tell if somebody have high energy, vibrating at a very high level, or somebody who have very low energy. It's Monday. Right. It's Friday. You know, then you know that they vibrate at a very low energy. I'm glad to see all my co-authors here vibrating at a very, very high energy. In fact, that is one thing I noticed.
Yes. And then I think it was Tesla or Einstein that said the medicine of the future will be in frequency, right?
That was Thomas Edison actually said. The medicine of the future, doctors will not prescribe medicine, will prescribe healthy lifestyle and use frequency and use energy.
And the future is today. And I think we're still waking up to that fact. And that's why this work is so important. And I think like that's a big takeaway for me. And Mandy, because I'm in the book too. I have a chapter in the book.
Do you think I forgot you? Come on. He's lost his trust in me.
Mandy.
I think it's time to quit while the going.
Back to Mandy.
Austin. How about you tell us, the viewers, a little bit about your story, how you came to write this book and want to engage all these incredible people, and some of your health turnaround. We definitely want to hear this, please.
My first thing is I'm grateful to God and my Creator and the Lord Jesus Christ is my Savior. I'm just going to throw that out there. But my mom was my first health coach, and I didn't know it. Because she was always take your vitamins, eat your vegetables. Just consistently, as she awakened to good health, it naturally poured onto me. And so my mom, as I wrote in the book, was my earliest health coach. And my dad was also my health coach in a different way. He did the opposite things. He had some bad habits. But the one thing I took away from my dad was his attitude. And so these things permeated, and unbeknownst, I picked them up and I learned them. So health, I've never been it's not like I've been this picture of health all the time, but I kind of always had the discipline. I taught myself to say no. You know, and what do I mean? No, I'm not going to drink. No, I'm not going to eat that cheesesteak. No, I'm not going to eat that fried food. And I just took one no at a time. So rather than thinking about, like a lot of times, this major change, I just took it the micro moment, say no right now, the tough moment, you know, and if I could manage that tough moment, say no, then I could say yes to something healthy and good. And I kind of permeate that through all areas of my life and build that up. Sometimes it's the muscle to say no as we build a healthier habit. And it's usually a couple tough moments there. And so this has always been a lifelong journey for me. So it's no accident that I met Dr. Grant and all these amazing people. And I just continue to do what I can. I'm not perfect. I need to make some adjustments right now. But there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my health and energy. Every single day of my life, I'm thinking about my health, my energy. Get outside, breathe, drink water, take my, am I taking my vitamins today? Like this is my like natural mode of operation. And it starts with one, you know, and we'll talk about that as we move through. It starts with one. It starts with one decision right now, literally one.
Yep.
Drink more water today. Get a supplement. Get a scan by Dr. Grant or Gregory. Call Dr. Phil and have a consultation. Talk to Jim about what happened in his heart experience. Talk to Amy about how the essential oils changed her state when she was dealing with panic attacks and anxiety. And also, I want to give a shout out to your daughter who's not here, Abby, right? Who's also, let me just grab that real quick too, because I want to highlight that. And I thought that was just a beautiful thing, how your daughter, while we were doing, I just full transparency, while we were doing the book, Amy reached out to me and said, hey, what about, what if my daughter was, and we said, let's do it, because your daughter was kind of going down the same path as you. And this is why it's so important that we take care of ourselves. And that's what you start. So instead of focusing on fixing your daughter, you went, boom, you started to take care of you. And all of a sudden now your daughter is learning, and now she's following the healing journey instead of going down another decade, which could have happened, but it didn't. Now she's doing these things earlier on, and amen to that. So she's in the
amen
book.
to that. That's beautiful.
Back to you.
I want a cowbell ringing on one of the points you made there. You are an extremely disciplined man, and as we've come to know you, you definitely say no to others or other things because it's saying yes to you. So what you eat, if you look at it to eat something healthy as opposed to, let's say, fast food, you're always consistently analyzing what's going to be healthy for your mind, body, and spirit. Ring the cowbell. Absolutely. Because I think that is a very, very powerful point. If we're not, maybe we're just thinking of the mind or just thinking of the spirit or the body, but it's an all-encompassing lifestyle, right? Mind, body, spirit, and each part of it knows how to be healthy if we feed it the right things. And I just keep getting it. You're very welcome, but this is what I keep getting from every single one of you. It's a collective experience of your own experiences in turning your health around and what it's taken to do that. And I'm just in absolute honor of all of you. So we're getting close to time here. So we've got a couple of questions.
Can I jump in real quick, Mandy?
Absolutely, jump in.
Yeah, just because I know some people might be pressed for time. So does anybody have to, I think, Amy, you have to leave quick more.
Yeah, I do have to leave quick in probably about 5 minutes.
Okay, so why don't we go to Amy first?
Start with Amy.
Yep.
Okay, so what is your message, Amy, that you want to give to the people out there who perhaps find themselves in the same position as you were in? What is your message to people that were in the same place as you?
Well, Austin actually led right into it when he was talking about my daughter's situation, because what I found as I took care of me and made myself a priority, spirit, soul, and body, I raised up. My transformation empowered and showed the road, showed the path for my daughter and my family. And so that is really my message, that when you take care of you, other people absolutely notice. You rise up, they are inspired, and they want to go with you. And there might be some people that fall off, and that's okay.
That's okay.
But hopefully they'll come along later. But as you take care of you and make yourself a priority, it's not selfish. It absolutely is not. I found myself not able, my body, it was like the hamster on the wheel. I could not, I just fell off the wheel. I could not go literally I could hardly walk. I couldn't drive my car. And as you mentioned, it's spirit, it's body, and it's mind. And what I had done is I was seeking after God with all my heart. And then I was taking out my vitamins, doing all those things, but I wasn't taking care of myself emotionally.
There you go.
And so that is a key, because how you feel emotionally affects how you feel physically.
You got it.
So there's a book, her name's Carol Truman, I think it's called Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die. And so we hold in our body those unresolved emotions. And so if we don't let go of them, maybe all of you know somebody that is really like hard-hearted and bitter, and you feel for them. You can feel that negative energy. Yes. And it's because they're still harboring those emotions. And so that's really my key that I want to tell people. It's okay to not be okay.
Yep.
But then you have to fully feel in order to heal. And so as you feel those emotions, you're releasing them, you're letting go. And, you know, faith is a big part of my story as well. And just
Absolutely.
trusting, letting go. And I had to do
Letting
that with
go.
my kids.
You've got that right, because it's those emotions get stored at the cellular level, as we all know. So that's a powerful message for anybody listening here today. So what did you learn? Last question. What did you learn whilst writing your health turnaround story, other than what you've just said? Anything else to add to that?
Well, how proud I am of my daughter.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah, really.
Yes.
And it really is. You know, at such a young age, for her to have learned so much and to know that she doesn't have to go through, you know, I'm 50 years young, but I'm just so glad at her age that she's able to go through and learn these lessons and make an impact, especially in the younger generation, because anxiety is such a huge thing that so many people suffer with. But being able to share that story, that it's okay to not be okay, and those feelings actually tell us what's going on inside of us, so that we can make changes.
Make the changes. Beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank
And
you,
I know Austin's feels the same way. I just want to say thank you profusely for being part of this health turnaround story. And seriously, your story with your daughter parallels my story with my youngest daughter. So I've really, really related to this, and I honor you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So
Thanks,
you're
Amy.
welcome.
So if you got to leave, we'll send you off, and so glad you made it to the show today. I know you got a busy schedule.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we're going to have to motor here. Let's go back to Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, could I ask you these two questions, please? What, firstly, is... Where's he gone? There he is. What is your message to the person out there who has found themselves in the same place as you were that caused your health turnaround? What is your message to them?
Well, the message that I like to build everything on is this law of deposit and withdrawal that I teach every chance I get. The great law of deposit and withdrawal. Everything in life is about deposits and withdrawals. You know, when I'm teaching, I also ask people. They may say to me, "Well, I tried nutrition and it didn't work," and I say, "Well, if you try oxygen for 1 week and then quit, you're in big trouble. So you can't try nutrition. You have to do nutrition. Once you learn that the body has to have nutrients and vitamins and minerals, it doesn't know what Tylenol is. It doesn't know what aspirin is.
No.
These are foreign to the body. This great law of deposit and withdrawal, whether you believe it or not, it's much like gravity. It's a principle. It exists. You say, I don't believe in gravity. You step off a 2-story building. It doesn't change the fact that gravity is going to take charge of you at that point. But gravity doesn't have to be our enemy. It's our friend if we flow with this law. Right now, it's keeping us seated. We're all being able to have conversation on Zoom, and we're not floating around in a room. But if you violate this law of deposit and withdrawal, you will pay a price. And so I like to tell people money has very little to do with health, to be honest. I know millionaires that are very sick. It's because they are not doing the things necessary. Health is much about application and principle. You've got to apply principle to get health. You can't just have money. Money just gives you more to buy bad things. If you're already eating bad food, you can buy more bad food. If you're already drinking alcohol, you can buy more alcohol. You can say, hey, give me 6 vodkas instead of 1. I mean, that's what a lot of people do with their money.
That's right.
So, the other thing to understand is that as I said earlier, the body doesn't know how to be sick. Your brain is on a survival program. It's going to be on that program until you take your last breath. And I talk about a book I'm trying to formulate called Your Body is Not Impressed by Where Your Doctor Went to School. I hope to finish this shortly. It's absolutely true. No matter how many PhDs you have, and we're just punks when it comes to this body. This body is amazing. Just to bend over to pick up.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Our body has to talk to itself at 100 million signals a second to make that one motion. And if we connect our DNA together, it will go from the earth to the sun 100 times. This should cause us to be in awe with this amazing body. So I've never met a doctor yet, no matter where he went to school, Harvard, Yale, IU Medical, wherever, that is worth their salt unless they're humble enough to admit this.
Yes.
And one last thing I want to say before we move forward is I wrote a statement. It says, no matter what your expertise in medicine or what practice that you are in, you would be nothing without innate intelligence.
You've got it.
Innate
You got it.
intelligence, I speak about in chapter 5. It is the body's ability to move forward with what we do. And if you're a heart surgeon and you do a transplant, where are you going to be if the body doesn't step up and finish?
You got it.
If Jim Grant, when he had his surgery, if the body didn't step up and finish the work,
yes, the healing.
The surgeon would be nothing.
Brilliant.
That's right. That's right.
So that's what I want people to
Awesome.
know. Yeah.
Awesome.
Brilliant,
And what-
Dr. Phil.
And
Brilliant.
one last thing, apart from everything you've just said there, what is one thing that you learned about actually writing this story that was made a difference to you? What did it bring out in you?
Well, I think it reminded me of some things I already know, but it's just great to be reminded of the fact that, time is really all we have. And we want to use our time as wisely as we possibly can. I mean, I could have been doing other things with my time when I was writing that chapter. I could have been eating a Pop-Tart, which would have been a bad idea.
True.
So, but if we spend our time wisely, and if we look at the opportunity we have to invest, it's more blessed to give than to receive. I mean, there's time invested here, there's money invested here, but we're giving something that can't be measured. I mean, somebody may read this and it may change their life and then change thousands of others. Thousands.
Yes. And that is absolutely on point. I've got goosebumps all over because
Always
that is the point.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, thank you so much, Dr. Phil. Really appreciate you being in the book and being here and sharing your wisdom. You're amazing. Absolutely amazing. I honor you. Thank you. Gregory, on to you, my friend, before you take off in that vehicle.
2 minutes. We're
2 minutes max.
time.
What is your message to the people out there that have been where you are?
Well, paying for over 25 years, almost 30 years, over 30 specialists. Basically, we need to rethink everything that we've been doing, and it has to start where Dr. Grant says at epigenetics. I mean, before we conceive that child, let's turn the genes off. Come on, guys, let's go. If you don't know how to do it, call me and Dr. Grant. And my business is all about quantum, and we believe that your quest should be longer. I'm in the construction field, and most of the guys I talk to, they're saying, "Oh, I got this problem and that problem." I says, "Come on, let's take care of it." He says, "No, we're just gonna die. We're just gonna, have these issues." I says, "You don't have to have these issues.
Yes.
Call me, 30-minute free consultation, and I'll show you how your body can heal itself."
Yeah, that's great. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we're all going to be
changing perspective.
Changing our names. We're all going to be changing our names.
Well,
Last name to Grant.
Yeah. I want a rerun on my body. Right, Dr. Grant?
Yes,
okay, back to
dear.
Greg. Quick question. What did you learn personally, Greg, while you were writing this health turnaround story? What's your biggest lesson for you?
Well, I don't know if I learned the lesson yet, but what really I got to do is I have to change the mindset of others, and I really need to drive home that everyone's carrying a cell phone. That cell phone can do wonders, and it can also do harm, but more good than harm if you know what you're doing. And we really need to share. Press the share button. If this story is not resonating with you, please share it to somebody that it might.
Yes.
Thanks for that, Greg.
Yes,
share it with
perfect.
Exactly.
Share
Thank
it.
you.
There are many people out there, but there's probably at least one, if not more, needing this. So many people need this. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you for being in the book, my friend. I honor your spirit and wish you all the success going forward with your programs. They are incredible, very, very powerful. On to Jim Grant. I nearly said Dr. Grant. Jim.
Is that like a promotion? Is that like a promotion without the pay?
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Okay, let's stop laughing. No, let's not. Let's keep laughing. It's healthy. Jim, my friend, what is your message to the person out there who is rushed into ER or is on the verge of a heart attack? What is your message to that person that's been where you are?
No matter what's happening to you in life, the main thing is don't run scared. I'm an old Vietnam veteran, and I can speak about that because I survived Nam in 69 and 70. If you run scared, you're already defeated.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
I encourage people to look at it like this, because this came to me about 2 weeks after the surgery. I'm home, and I got to feel a little sorry for myself. Why me, Lord? I mean, I try to, do right. I mean, I exercise. Most of the time I ate right prior to that. And, my bad cholesterol was at 76 and then was 96 when I was in the hospital. But then, thanks be to the good Lord, that I went next door to talk to my neighbor. He's a widower, and took him some goods. And he was an internal medicine doctor. He says, Jim, he said, you realize that 75% of the people who wind up in the ER with heart problems are just like you?
Yes.
And then it ding-donged on me that, hey, I know now why I had a heart attack. Number one was to give me a parole from death, because you got the widowmaker in your heart. You're not going to, you're living with a stick of dynamite in your hand. Okay?
Yes.
So therefore, I was able to avoid that situation, bypass it literally. Now it's my position in life to be able to tell my story, to share with others.
Yes.
That, you've got to be able to take care of yourself. You got to eat right. Most importantly, remember this, that medical doctors do not realize 75% of the patients who wind up in the ER with a heart condition, they do not know that.
Yeah.
And the reason why you wind up in the ER with a heart attack, they don't call you a medical doctor. They call the cardiologist.
Yes.
That's right.
And I look at it as being a blessing in disguise, because now I'm on a mission to help others and to share my story with others. And really the icing on the cake with this, and I'll close with this here because I know we're pressed on time, is that when I went in there that whole weekend, those 67 tests they ran on me, nothing showed anything about the widowmaker being in my heart. That didn't show up until after they ran the dye in me, because they was telling me I'm going to have stents on Monday, go home Monday afternoon, feel great. And then when Dr. Gray says, Jim, I'm sorry, but these stents won't work for you. You need open heart surgery. You need it now. You're going to need 4 bypasses. I got to put you in ICU. He says, it's that critical.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just simply said, well, Lord, it's in your hands. If the surgery goes well, I go home. If it doesn't go well, I still go home. And immediately it was just
the peace
like that.
Even in that moment, let go and let God. That is definitely a cowbell moment. Definitely.
I don't even know why I said it, but I just want to close
because it was
quickly.
meant to be heard. Yeah. It was meant to be heard.
But immediately I felt loved, and I knew everything would be fine.
Yes.
So my point being, in your hour of need, I hope you feel like what I experienced, because it's a beautiful feeling.
Yes. The peace of God that guards all mental thoughts.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for being in this Health Turnaround book.
Thank you.
I absolutely honor your spirit. It's an incredible change story for anybody. And again, it's the prevention rather than the cure, right? And you're a walking, living example of that. Dr. Grant, on to you very briefly, because we're almost out of time here.
Okay, very briefly. Thoughts create feelings.
Yes.
Feelings create behavior.
Yep.
Behavior creates habits.
Yep.
And habits make us. So if your habits is to eat Auntie Jamima and Uncle Ben and the Twinkies, then you're not going to live till even 75. So the habits has to be a healthy food. So I encourage them to go to academyofwellness.com, complete the Wellness IQ. If their score is under 55, like my 25,000 clients I've seen in the past 40 years, seek some help. Speak to me, speak to Greg, speak to Dr. Phil, speak even to Jim Grant, just by listening to his story, or speak to Ultra Marathon, Austin Haynes. Speak to Mandy. Mandy has tremendous experience going through lots of medical issues, and now she looks like in her early 50s. You know, speak to any one of us. We love you. We want to support you, but do not make your habits to kill you. Seriously, that's all I want to say.
Perfect. Thank you. And again, namaste, Dr. Grant. You're an angel in the center core of all of these health turnaround stories. And I wish you all the best with getting more people, along with Greg there and the scanner, to get more people to find out what the health story is about. Quickly, Austin, what is your message here to someone that's gone through what you've gone through?
Well, first of all, what was coming to me was, when I was listening to Jim Grant, was about face. You know what about face is? About face and embrace. You know, and even Amy said that in order to heal, you got to feel.
Yes.
And I would say for earlier version for me is just to be more of a student.
Yeah.
Become more of a student. Be the observer. Seek to understand the principles, what really creates good health. And I'll go back to what I said on the earlier, when they looked at the top 2 factors, the university study, and they said, what are the strongest factors in good health, after polling thousands of people? And it was the top 2 were, let's see, your relationships came in at number 2. Your relationships, because your relationships, the healthier they are, the healthier biochemistry that's created. So even if you're not doing everything perfect, your body is functioning at a higher level. Yeah. And then number 1 was social integration, which is what we're really doing here. If you think about it, this is a little microcosm of community, if you will. So the more integrated you are into your community, the better your relationships are, the better your health is going to be. And then take all of the things that you're learned here, that through these amazing people, like I opened up, over 100 years of
experience,
dedication, life dedication to vibrant health, healing, health turnaround. So I would just augment everything that was said here today, and invite the listener, the reader. We're going to put the QR code up here in a moment. Take one step today. That's where it starts.
Awesome. And we're pretty close to time here, so I'm not going to get a chance to do a whole round out, but I am going to say this, and it's a well-known quote, and sometimes I muddle it up, but all boats rise on the same tide. This book is a tide that will elevate your health to greater heights, and it will do it in unison for your mind, your body, and your spirit. I urge every single person that sees this now or on the replay to purchase this book, because it will make a huge, valuable change, everything in your life that you could only have dreamed of before. I want to thank every single person here I can't name you all because we're almost out of time, but I honor you. I just absolutely love everything that you're doing, who you are as people. The wisdom and the spirit that you bring to this world is priceless, and that you've taken your time to share your stories with the world. We are blessed, and will be continuing to be blessed by everything that we read and take on and absorb. Thank you so much, each and every one of you.
Yep.
Austin.
Get the book. If you're on the social media platforms, the link is in the chat. We want to recommend you get the book for yourself, share it with a friend. These stories are life-changing. That's all I can say.
I personally guarantee that this book will help you in your PMS, physical, mental and spiritual well-being.
That's it. That's it.
Live, laugh, learn.
Yes.
So I'm going to put the QR code up. So I'm going to thank the authors. I'm going to cycle you out. I'm so glad you were here. I honor each and every one of you. We will do something else in the future, and we will do a follow-up so I can get the hard copies to each of you, because we'll take a number and we'll ship it out to you. So we'll do a look for that follow-up. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. God bless. Love you all. Take a step for your better health today. Yeah. Get this book.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the viewers and all our wonderful authors. Bye. Bye. Bye, Dr. Grant.
Thank you, Mandy. We're going to put the QR code up so you can scan it with your phone once again and get this book. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you next week, next Friday at 12 noon for Flashpoint Live.
Bye.